So the topic tonight is blogging for RVers. And we decided to do this
I've heard of vlogging.
You've heard of vlogging?
I've heard of vlogging.
We decided on this topic tonight because we see a lot of people ask in forums and groups, like, should I start an RV blog? What's involved? What's the best platform? And that sort of stuff. So we thought we'd share some of our experience with it. When did you start blogging?
I think it's 2002 or 2003.
And I think for me it was around the same time. We both actually started on a platform called LiveJournal, which was a social blogging platform, kind of before Facebook.
Before really the term blogging was too popular.
Yeah, I don't think it was even called blogging too much back then.
It's sort of, but LiveJournal was really, really cool. And then Facebook kind of squished it. But Facebook is not as cool as LiveJournal in a lot of ways. It's kind of sad to see it go away.
So we were social blogging. We met in 2006. So we were both started blogging independently, and we actually met on a blog. It was a Prius group on LiveJournal, and then we started going back and able to read each other. Just
to go, perks of blogging: you meet cool girls. This is it. You know, there are many, many, many perks to blogging. This is one of the best ones right here.
So yeah, we always both got a lot out of blogging. You get to record some of your own story, you get to share it with others, you get feedback, and you get to help maybe inspire some other people. And that's how we got started. And Technomadia actually started when we hit the road together in 2007, when I sold my house and joined him. And we just decided to take all of our LiveJournal postings that we're already making about Life on the Road.
Anything that we had tagged
as
Nomad would go to a joint blog, so that we could still have our independent blogs and then automatically, very easily make this joint blog that was Technomadia, just basically for the people who are only interested in our travels as opposed to our personal deep thoughts that we're sharing on LiveJournal. And then that just started to grow and grow and grow until eventually we have 47 people watching us on a live stream on a rainy Thursday night. Yeah. So it just goes from there.
Right. Yeah, we would start by, we'd just be sharing about our life on the road and our new adventure together, our new relationship together. And people would ask, like, well, how are you staying connected on the internet? How are you working? How are you finding jobs? How are you getting your mail? Are you able to do Netflix? That sort of stuff. And we would just write posts about it. And soon enough, we had a lot of new people. And we never really intended to be RV bloggers, really. Right. It just kind of happened. And actually, you'll find that a lot of the big bloggers that you follow today probably started in the same circumstances.
It's almost a recipe for failure to try to start off to have a big famous blog and make lots of money on it. Because if you don't find your audience organically, you'll you'll just end up spending a lot of effort to have talking to no one.
Right. Yeah. So we personally struggle with how to keep it personal and how to keep it interesting and engaging and giving resources to people and it not draining us. Because some weeks we spend 20-30 hours a week creating content and posting on it.
Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's a lot of dreary work.
And sometimes, when you don't get comments to a post, it's depressing. When you get negative feedback, it hurts.
And when the website goes down, it is really, really frustrating. Particularly if it happens in the morning when Cherie's up and I'm still in bed.
It's really frustrating for him.
Yes. Nothing like waking up to that. Fix it.
So anyway, what are some of the reasons that you might be thinking about starting a blog? There's usually 3 primary reasons. The first is keeping your friends and family up to date on your new travels. And blogging is a wonderful way to record your journey and have it as a passive way for your friends and family to check in on you.
But beware, because your friends and family, you might put all this effort into writing this big story and sharing photos and everything else, and then you talk to your friends a month later and you're like, so did you hear about my trip to the Grand Canyon? And they'll be like, no, I don't read your blog. And that actually can be really hurtful. If it's like your mom says, no, I don't like the internet stuff. Don't think just because you write it, people will read it. People connect in very different ways, and don't take it personally. Even if your own mom doesn't read your blog, everybody's got their own way of connecting and connecting to you. So you'll have complete strangers who might be like, I loved your trip to the Grand Canyon. They'll come up to you out of the blue sometime and say, your picture of the hawk swooping down changed my life. And your mom would be like, you were at the Grand Canyon? Yeah, those things happen.
So it's kind of weird. So if you start blogging for friends and family, you probably will have something to check in. They might go and check it before you show up back in town to catch up on your life. But mostly we found our friends and family didn't read our blog as closely as we did. And our intentions of starting for friends and family that really didn't, it wasn't.
Yeah, you show up to somebody and say, so where have you been? And I'm like, You haven't been reading? There's like 7,000 words that we posted last week, and okay, fine. You gotta expect that.
But we also found a lot of people don't like it. Can be a better way to share than like starting a newsletter and emailing it and sending it to all your friends and family. They may start to get upset after a while, or jealous actually.
Everybody has their own different way
Right.
that they communicate.
Right. So sharing for friends and family, great reason to start a blog, and it can actually be fruitful. You'll probably find out that you are sharing with new friends and people you consider your intentional family more often than you will your existing ones that you left behind. Another reason that people tend to blog is just for their own personal recording of their journey. Not necessarily to reach an audience or share it with anyone, but they just like to have kind of the public out there. They don't mind people reading it, but they just want to record from themselves. One of my favorite quotes is from Sean.
Yes, it's we blog to remember, we drink to forget. This is from Sean of ourodyssey.us. They've been blogging for a very, very, very long time about their amazing adventures. First in a double-decker bus, and now on board an awesome trawler that they're on the water.
So yeah, so just recording for your own journey. Sean keeps his blog. It's basically his ship's log. Or it used to be the bus log. Everything they did. Every time they got to a new location, he did a log post. And it could do everything from what they had to dinner, to the maintenance that he did that day, to the the health status of his pets.
Yes.
And
one interesting thing about, like, Sean is almost a perfect example of one extreme style of blogging is he is not blogging at all for an audience. It is his personal, it is the ship's log, it's his personal log. He doesn't write, he could care less who reads it or who doesn't read it. He writes all the details he wants to remember. And so it becomes a very dry blog. Some people really, really hate it. And other people, they become addicted because every little technical detail, every little restaurant they ate at is chronicled in a very, very dry fashion.
But when he goes back to a new location, he's got a perfect journal of, oh, what restaurant was good in this area? What campground did I like? Where did I boondock really great here? So it creates a great journal for him to go back and look on. So he can drink more and forget.
And on the other extreme, we have people who blog very much from kind of the ideal standpoint of they don't talk about even the specifics of where they are. They just talk about the things that inspire them about travel, or a poem that came to them one day, or something very, very abstract that's not tied to their day-to-day. And then there's a lot of people who are somewhere in between, and we're definitely somewhere in between. We have some abstract articles, we have some very specific travel logs, and we try to strike a balance. But do what works for you, and don't necessarily write for your audience unless that's what your goal is.
Write what inspires you to keep writing every day. If you want to record about your day, about what you saw, the pictures you took, that is fantastic. That's what's going to keep you blogging every single day, or every week, or every month, or whatever frequency you decide is right for you. So another reason that people start a blog is they think that they can make money at it, and it's going to be a source of income for them on the road. There are successful bloggers who make a reasonable income off their blogs. I would say, by and large, every one of them that I have met and encountered makes it a full-time job, or more than a full-time job. It puts a lot of work into it.
And also, the secret that a lot of them have is their personal blog, where you think they're putting all their effort, is actually just a front for, they might have 30 or 40 other fake link bait blogs that are designed to get search links and get ads that all just kind of aggregate the content. So if you think it's fun to manage 30 or 40 sites and juggle all sorts of top 10 lists and other things that attract Google searches and Google hits, it's actually kind of a depressing, a large amount of work, and kind of doesn't bring a lot to the universe for some people.
Yeah,
some people thrive on that, but most people, it's really tricky, and it's not nearly what you might imagine it to be.
Right. So other ways you can make an income off a blog, and you can make a little bit. Google AdSense, Amazon affiliate links, you'll see a lot of those. In fact, underneath the blog, ours is under there if you want to click on it and send us a couple pennies. There are ways to make a little bit of income off your blog. From your content by that. You can also sell text links. When you start a blog, you'll start getting contacted by a lot of advertising agencies who want to buy text.
Once your blog is highly ranked.
Once you get a decent ranking, you'll start to get contacted for text links and sponsored blog posts and all sorts of stuff. And you can make money off of it. You are in some ways selling out your content.
You've got a great blog. Would you like to make it sucky? Here, we'll send you $50.
Well, they don't say that. But we got one this morning that they wanted us to do a guest post on our blog about travel in Italy. It's like, we don't go to Italy. That's not even relevant to our blog.
So it would be something completely irrelevant to our readers, and it's really not a ton of money that these sites offer you for doing that sort of thing. And all they want is your Google links. And Google frowns on that sort of thing too, and they detect it.
They're always changing. Yeah, Google's always changing it. So, but you can make a little bit of money. You can do some Amazon affiliate links. We maybe make $50 to $100 a month on Amazon affiliate links. It's enough to pay for the hosting costs of our blog. And so that keeps it up, and at least the blog's no longer costing us physical money, it definitely doesn't cover our time that we have put into the blog. But the ways that some people do use a blog is by building up a personal credibility online. So it's kind of like an online resume. It's writing samples, it's examples of the sort of professional stuff you can do. And we have gotten opportunities off of our blog that we wouldn't have otherwise, like our involvement in Our Village recently. That was strictly because we were bloggers, and people referred people to us, said, hey, these are people you should know. So we do get some opportunities from the blog, and obviously we have created some of our own products, our apps and ebooks.
And it helps that we're visible.
Yeah, so there are advantages to blogging. All the effort we put into it isn't
the ultimate advantage, though. The ultimate benefit is the cool people that we meet.
That is why we blog.
Yes, that is the real reason to blog. If you're blogging for any other reason, well, for us, comes down to cool people find us because we're out there blogging, and we love it when cool people find us.
Yeah, we're introverts, but remember our last chat was RVing for introverts. One way we got around it was to blog and share with people so they approach us. And that's worked really well for us. So the number of friends we've been able to make on the road has been our biggest reward for our blogging efforts. Okay, rewards of blogging. We just covered that one.
Yes,
social networking, making real life friends, inspiring others.
Yes.
We do actually enjoy, that is something that we both have in common, is through sharing our story, we're hopefully helping other people see what is possible and examining their own lives. And
when we have people come up to us and say, hey, because of something I read that you wrote, I've changed my life is better, I had this great adventure, and we're in part the reason for that, and they tell us that, we love that. That's so inspiring.
It does, and that gives us, even if we're feeling down, even if we just gotten a negative comment.
Trolls. We're going to get to the trolls in a second.
Yeah, the trolls are on here too.
That's the downsides.
So yes, being able to inspire people and seeing that inspiration back really, really helps us keep going. It's a venue for getting a message out, such as, if you do have a product that you want to launch, maybe you are writing an ebook or creating an app or have a service that you want to offer, it is a great venue for announcing those sorts of things. Soliciting for support. So maybe you have a breakdown, because RVs never break down, never, ever. But you might be able to solicit like design ideas or help on the side of the road or repairs, ideas for anything in your life. Your readers can help give you interaction
You've got the interwebs to ask. You've got an audience that is there cheering for you in a sense, that you throw a question out and you might get the answer that you need.
Right. So some of the negatives of blogging. When you open yourself up, you're sharing your story, and especially as you get a larger reach, you do get those who seem to have they get some thrill out of taking down other people. And
these are called trolls.
Trolls. Yes. And we don't get it nearly as bad as some others, but we do occasionally have someone who comes through who is, for whatever reason, they don't agree with our lifestyle. They don't agree. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they feel stuck in their own lives, and they're going to try to take it out on us.
And some trolls get really nasty and personal. We've been told to drive our bus off the side of a cliff, and just like it's a random drive-by comment, and that could leave you depressed for weeks. Yeah,
we almost shut the blog down after that. We do get people who get critical about the choices you make in your life. When we switched up our lifestyle, like switching from the Oliver to moving to the Virgin Islands, we actually got hate mail from people because we were destroying their dreams. So yeah, if you've got your life out in public, people start to get a vision of who you are. It's usually their own
and they get
story.
Attached to it.
They get attached to it, and if you change things up, you just, destroyed their vision.
And there's a very scientific formula that equates that 1,000 good, positive, nice, friendly, loving comments are negated by one bad, hateful troll. So it's really, really, really hard sometimes to have somebody show up and who says something really nasty, or sometimes the worst kind of trolls are the people who who don't get it and who have no empathy. So they're not necessarily being intentionally mean and nasty to you. They just don't get it, and they just keep going and going and going.
Or there's just the whole internet thing. When you're not in person, you don't have the body language, you don't have the personal history to know if they're being sarcastic or joking, or it's their own personal way of sharing. It's sometimes hard, and you may be having a bad day. I certainly have bad days. We certainly have bad days. And it's harder to be the diplomatic one and try to read every comment that you get with that in mind and trying to translate the friendliness over to it. So that can be difficult sometimes. And someone might just be, it may just be a cultural difference. It may just be that they're not as technologically advanced enough to know how to read or leave a good comment or a full comment,
or an topic comment.
Oh gosh, we get so many comments that someone was responding to a blog post 3 posts ago, and they put it on the new one, and it's like now it's out of context, and that frustrates me.
Yes, yeah, because you hate to like scold them because they're writing something nice, but they're writing it in the completely wrong place, and so you have to delete it, and then they get offense, and it's like, okay, you roll your eyes.
Yes. Yes, especially as your reach grows, it gets harder. It gets harder to keep up with that. Spam. Once your blog gets popular, spammers want to leave lots of comments on your blog.
I think we just cleared out 50,000 spam messages just the other day.
By the way, our blog designers are in the room with us. We're going to be bringing them on in a moment.
Special guest stars.
Yes, speaking of people who found us because we blogged, so you'll get to meet our friends really soon here. I'm really excited to introduce you to them. And also, one of the other things is keeping it up. We notice a lot of new blogs come on the scene, and a lot of blogs quit being updated after a couple months. It's a lot more work to keep a blog up than it looks like.
And one trap a lot of people fall into, particularly the ones who want to blog every one of their adventures, and actually this was something that was happening to me, is you get further and further behind real time.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, there was a time before we were doing our joint blog that I was, I had all these big...
Starting the session.
Okay. Are we back? Because I think we're back. We got 73 viewers now. Wow.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, this falling further and further behind real time. So if I got all this big adventure happening, all these photos, and it's gonna take me like 8 hours to process the photos and make this big, beautiful illustrated post. Well, I can't talk about what happened to me today until I finish that post from 3 weeks ago, and then it's 2 months ago, and then 3 months ago, and I think I was like still writing posts at some point that were like 8 months behind about my first year on the road, and that didn't work.
A lot of effort. I put up a travelogue today. This morning, you might have seen it. And a post like that takes 2 to 3 hours to make. But by the time you process the photos, pick the photos out, edit them, get them pretty,
curse at the blog software.
You're dealing with internet issues to get it uploaded. There's a lot of effort that goes into making a blog post. Some of our technical...
There can be a lot of effort.
There can be, because we like it to be pretty.
We do elaborate posts. Some people who do their blogging, they do very, very simple. Like, it might be one photo and a paragraph of text.
They don't even spell check.
Right. Yes. So you decide on your style that works for you. And if you're finding yourself 6 months behind, or even just a few weeks behind, you probably need to change the style. Find something different.
Right. Do a monthly wrap up.
Yes, exactly.
Or do something else. Don't feel that you have to follow anybody else's format.
Right.
Just because Nick Russell posts daily on Gypsy Journal doesn't mean to be an RV blogger you have to post daily.
Please don't post daily. It's hard to keep up.
Well, no, I don't. It does make it hard as a reader to keep up, but I appreciate.
Yes, but some people do really great daily blogs.
I would imagine Clark might be watching, and Clark blogs. I really admire that he's been able to keep that up for like 2 years now.
So diligent, beautiful, awesome posts.
And I know how much effort goes into that, but it's also becomes a habit. It's kind of a cathartic journaling sort of thing. That's kind of where the difference between journaling and blogging might have a slight difference.
Right.
But don't do it. If someone is posting, if you're seeing one of your favorite bloggers post lots of pretty photos, that doesn't mean you have to go be a great photographer there's no competition in blogging.
Yes.
There's no,
You can't get awards, but you really
Yeah. Find your own unique style, blog about what makes you happy to blog about, and you'll probably have a much better experience with it and not get burned out in it. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, blogging is just not for me. One of the other issues is privacy.
Yes.
When you're a blogger, you become visible. We occasionally have people just knock on our door because they recognize us in the campground. It's usually nice.
Awesome.
Sometimes it's exhausting. It's hit or miss. We'd much prefer, by the way, if you see us in the campground, please email us first, if it's possible. If not, wait for us.
If you see us walking by, but it's
whatever.
Just use your own creep factor judgment.
Right.
But we'd love to meet you. Don't like send us a mail a week later saying I saw you, but I didn't want to talk to you. No, talk to us, but just do it right.
Well, there's no right. That's what's we're people. You're people.
Yes.
Anyway. Privacy is an issue. If you're concerned about your privacy and you're posting your location the same day that you're there on your blog, well, you're kind of like not being private at that point. You're publicly broadcasting your location. Some ways that people who are concerned about privacy, who still want to share publicly, is they'll actually blog maybe a week behind or a month behind, and that's,
or they blog after they leave a place. Just by the rule, it's like they write about where they just left.
Yeah, and you'll find a lot of our travel logs are from last week. We just posted about being in Memphis last week. Now, we did announce that we're coming to St. Louis.
But we didn't announce exactly where we're going and where we're staying. So,
Yeah.
But when we leave, we'll write about where we stayed.
Right.
That's how we try and keep a little bit of semblance of privacy and security.
Right. So find your own way. Nothing says that your blog has to use your full name on it.
Yes.
Nothing says that you can't be an anonymous blogger.
There's a lot of travel bloggers and RV bloggers out there who never show a picture of their face or their rig, and they never give a real full name. And so they're completely anonymous in a certain sense.
So that's all A-okay. Just because we use our full real names and we have our faces plastered everywhere and pictures of our bus on the top of the blog banner up there, it does not mean that you have to do that to be an RV blogger. Blogging platforms. Well, I think we've gotten through our stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you switch spaces.
We're going to bring in the special guest stars.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was wondering how I was going to cover this because we've only had experience with LiveJournal and WordPress. And I would like you to meet Jason Snow.
Hello.
And his lovely wife. You want to
Get squished in there.
come? Here, I can
Get in there.
Oh,
Come on in.
Just throw your new phone anywhere.
This is his wife, Kristen. The Snowmads, you've probably seen us blogging about them recently in our time in Cedar Key. They're also known as Boondock Marketing. We've been working with them since the beginning of the year to rebrand our own blog. So the blog format that you're seeing right now as you're viewing this is their design. That they've helped us launch and get ready. And they're full-time RVers as well. They're in a restored Airstream. You can see their personal blog at snowmads.com.
Yep.
And then boondockmarketing.com. And there are down below, down there, if you scroll down, there is a links to them as well. But one of the ways that they fund their travels is they do blog platform setup and marketing.
Definitely. We, started in our professional careers before we started RVing. We decided we wanted to get more involved with clients face-to-face and working with people in that manner and one-on-one, and so we started a small business, and that's what Boondock Marketing became.
Well, great. So they will help people set up more professional-looking blogs. You work mainly WordPress.org, is right?
We work mainly with the WordPress content management platform, which is actually held separately from WordPress.org. It's created by the same parent company, but it is they are technically two different things, two different entities.
All right, so what are the top blogging platforms that people might choose from?
There are WordPress.org, which is becoming the largest. It is out there. WordPress.org has free-to-use services. You also have Blogger and Blogspot. Which Blogger is a Google-based, I forget who owns Blogspot right now. But,
I think they took it over, actually.
Oh, okay,
yes.
So they bought it. So there you go. You see a lot of consolidation in this market. And then from a private standpoint, you do also still have Joomla and Drupal out there, which are much more technologically advanced blogs in some ways, but they are kind of beasts to work with and are meant for more large scale, not personal blogging.
All right. So for someone who just wants to have an RVing blog to share with friends and family, record their own journey, what would be your recommendations for where they should start their blogging at?
Well, it completely depends on the style of blogging they want to do. Like you guys were talking about earlier, if you're looking to do just the update, hi, here's where we're at, here's what we're doing, no advertising, no real deep interaction with your readers, then either Blogger or WordPress.org, they have free services out there that are available and are great to work with. If you want much more advanced beyond that, then you need to consider getting your own domain and hosting your own content management system, which I would recommend WordPress.org, which is what you guys are on.
Right. And how difficult is it to start like a blog or one of the free WordPress?
It's very easy. All you do is you sign up for an account, and they have a step-by-step process to walk you through it. You're limited to what themes you can use, and those themes are built by Google and WordPress.org, and they are very targeted at a personalized blog. So they're great, but they're very simplistic.
Right. And they also limit you on what types of things you can do to monetize your blog.
Correct. It is, the last time I read WordPress.org specifically, they did not allow you to use any ads, including they had just removed the ability to do the Amazon links. Blogger is a little bit more open in that you can run Google Ads. Google owns them, but it is still restricted as to how much. You don't make as large of a percentage as if it was your own site. So it's a different type of commerce.
All right. And when should someone really consider doing a self-hosted WordPress install?
So self-hosted installs are they're great, and it gives you the complete flexibility to interact with your readership however you want. So if you want to have photo and video galleries, if you want to have expanded comments or the live chat like you do on your site, if you want to have the ability to fully monetize a website, or if you think that the themes that they offer aren't your style, those are all good reasons to move to the other platform. Another piece that Kristen and I were actually talking about earlier is how you're posting. Because there are some serious restrictions with the free services on some of the device interaction. It's getting better, and WordPress specifically is getting better, but it's still very difficult from Blogger to post with a mobile device.
So like a tablet or a smartphone.
A tablet or a smartphone. And WordPress.org is a little bit better, excuse me, but you still can't do any media. So there's no picture upload, there's no anything like that.
They actually have an app that lets you do pictures and video.
They have the app, but that is its own post.
Right.
So you can't integrate that in with a post in and of itself. So it again comes down to kind of how you're blogging. Whereas if you have a static install, I don't know if you've logged in to see, but the backend is completely responsive now with the hosted install. So it's a very it's a responsive design to a tablet or a smartphone. You can do everything you could on a computer.
Cool. And what are some of the downsides of doing it self-hosted? I mean,
it costs money. That's number one. It does. You're never going to find free hosting. And if anybody says they're offering free hosting, they're not offering free hosting.
Too good to be true.
Exactly. The other part is you do have a security risk. You do own that space, and that is your information that's out there, whether it is an email address or bank information or all of the other things that can go along with having a website. So if you have an Amazon account that's tied to it, because you have affiliate links, those can be hacked. And it's not as big of a threat now, but you do have to constantly be updating and constantly be in the environment of what is around.
Chris is taking pictures of us off to the side.
Yeah. I saw flashing lights.
I was like,
Slightly
oh,
distracting.
Yes. So yeah, because we're constantly fighting all sorts of bots and stuff like that coming to our site. Sometimes our site gets so slow because it's just being hit by multiple sources.
Right.
Spam and...
I mean, not that Google isn't, away from that either. They've gotten it before, and, Blogger goes down sometimes.
WordPress just went down a couple of weeks ago for 3 days because they were hit from the same thing. And having your own hosted domain, you can do more and more and more to protect yourself from that.
Right.
So
so you have the free platforms, and you're dependent on them being, which they usually are. It's in their best interest too.
Right. But it is free for them too, so it does fall down on the priority list.
Right. Well, thank you guys for sharing.
Yes, definitely.
They are on the list. If you do want to go the next step with your blog and have a more professional look, these are wonderful folks to work with. We've really enjoyed working with them. They listened to what we needed on our blog, that we wanted to keep our personal touch, but yet take it to the next level. And they found us the right theme and the right setup, and they're going to be helping us with some future stuff as well. So
still need to do your bus icon. I keep forgetting about that.
Yes, I want a bus icon.
Blogs can be infinite work.
They're infinite work.
Yeah, it never ends.
Never ending with the blog. I'm constantly tweaking it. I'll usually get up before Chris an hour or two, and I just go in there, I just pick an area of the blog and tweak. Like this page that you're watching this embedded video on, I probably spent about 5 hours getting it set up to make it look as good as I could and figure out how to do the embed, and we did a test run, and it's constant work to do this sort of stuff. And doing the content. That's not even getting into creating the content.
But if you're an artistic person, it's a great outlet for that, especially in a small space like an RV. You can sit there and craft your website the way you would something tangible.
Exactly.
So
thank you, guys.
Thank you. We have the first question from the audience for Jason. What kind of wine are you drinking?
It is Apothic Red. It's a blended red wine. It's very good. It was on sale.
They're not paying us for this, by the way.
No, not at all.
But if they want to sponsor the podcast, that would be fine.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so we're going to open up to a general Q&A. If you have questions about blogging, that's great. We've got 4 resources here who can hopefully answer your questions. Blogging is fine. You can also ask us any questions that you have about the RVing lifestyle in general, working on the road. I think all of us will be happy to interject and try to answer your questions. I don't know if you've been asking questions all along. All we have is this little chat screen, and it's like right here, and I have to lean up to read it. I don't know. Did you scroll back and see?
I scrolled back to, like, there was questions about, like, there's somebody was asking if there's a lot of anti-government survivalists in the
RVing world.
We haven't run across too many of them, but we love the diversity of people. So
there's
we've
diversity.
Run across some, yes.
People RV for very different reasons. Yes. Some of us, it's because we have wanderlust and we want to not wait until we're retired to do it. For others, it's they are running from something. Yes. They probably don't have blogs with their names over it.
Yes. Those are the anonymous bloggers, yes. But no, please start throwing out a few questions. This is a really fun part to make this interactive. And so let us know.
So there's a question, blogging versus blogging a preference. So blogging is usually written format and usually integrates in photos, maybe some videos with edit. Vlogging is kind of like what we're doing right here. We're doing content. We like mixing it up.
Yeah, but we've never really done the vlogging style. I mean, there's quite a few people who have become, some have become YouTube celebrities who they can just have that natural ability to sit down in front of a camera, usually by themselves, and just put out something that's 5 to 10 or 15 minutes long. And for whatever reason, some people, they develop an audience who want to see them do that every day or every other day or once or twice a week. The off-the-cuff video blogging is not such a big time sink, but then if you start to try and do production of, like, well, I want to have pictures here and I want to have, like, a fake studio background or whizzy logos, suddenly, because video, for every minute of video takes an hour of production time minimum usually.
Yes, just remember in RVing lifestyle, one of the downsides to doing this format is a lot of our current RVing friends can't join us for these video chats because of bandwidth. Bandwidth is at a premium when you're on. We're only able to do this because we happen to have an unlimited source on our iPad, so we're able to broadcast this every so often. But we can't always do it from everywhere. We actually had to cancel this last week because we got to location and we didn't have enough bandwidth there.
And even tonight we had to revert down to the lower res video because thanks to the storms going through, the LTE is failing here. So it's a challenge.
All right, so someone asked, about to go on the road in 2 months, what hotspot extender any do you use? What's a hotspot extender?
I think they're talking about a Wi-Fi Ranger type device.
The Wi-Fi Ranger. So if you go to technomadia.com/internet, everything that we've written about mobile internet is there. We have our whole arsenal listed there, all the products we use. We even wrote a book on this topic. I would recommend going there. Talk about mobile internet. We have done.
We've actually, you can go check the archives. We have a full-on
video about
hour-long videos as well.
So I would recommend going there. It's a complicated subject. There's a lot of products out there. There's a lot of resources. We're actually going to be rewriting the mobile internet handbook and updating it here. Yep. That's our project for May. So there'll be a lot of new information out, and there's a lot of new products starting to hit the market. So we'll start reviewing some new stuff. So what we recommend today might not necessarily, but we recommend in a month.
Yes, things are always changing in the tech world.
Okay. So someone asked, do you use Google AdSense or something like that in the beginning to advertise your site, or just blog posts and word of mouth to get it noticed?
Oh gosh, to get your blog noticed.
I mean, if you're going for a commercial thing and maybe you're selling a product or a service, yes, you probably do want to use an advertising campaign of some sort to get the word out.
But for the most part, bloggers connect to each other and link to other blogs that they enjoy reading. So if you want to get your blog noticed, first off, start becoming a very active commenter on other people's blogs. That will get the bloggers and other readers to come start checking you out, and you'll build a reputation around your
intelligent comments on someone else's blog. Add to the conversation.
And
don't just promote your blog.
Yes,
you'll probably get deleted.
Link to them. So in your own posts, link to the other people that inspire you, articles that you like, because bloggers love to be linked to. And that tends to bring about reciprocation too.
Yes. Also, at the bottom, if you scroll down, at the bottom, I have a list of places to list your RV blog. Like Hitch Itch is an awesome resource. If you get them to link to, you'll get a lot of hits and start spreading the word. They like to link to new blogging resources. If you're participating on any RVing forums, like the Escapees forums or RV Dreams or anything like that, most of them will allow you to have a signature at the bottom. Make sure you add your blog to that so that people, they get used to your style, then they'll come in and join in on with
and just
as well.
be patient. It takes time.
Yeah.
Don't get too tied into how many people are reading.
Yes.
Don't obsess over your statistics.
It can take a year or two to get a following. It does take a while, and that's why a lot of bloggers burn out, because they put all the effort into it, and in 6 months they find, oh, I've only got 100 people reading my blog a month.
And probably 90 of them are spiders and spammers, and their mom isn't even reading. It gets depressing. Give it some time. You'll build an audience, particularly if you just keep at it.
I would like to know how you handle doctor's visits and prescriptions while you live on the road. I don't know if you're asking about us personally or in general. Personally, we don't have any prescriptions, so that's not a problem. And for doctors, we just find them when we go. We have a nationwide health plan through Assurant.
We actually have a teledoc service as well.
We have a teledoc service that we can call.
We can get prescriptions over the phone
for
a virtual
respiratory infections and things like that. You just, you find someone in your area and you make an appointment. So sometimes we'll go to an urgent care clinic if it's like a bad infection or something like that. We actually do have an article on this, technomadia.com/healthcare, that goes over all of that. So you can get more details on that as well. Can't figure someone whoever is trying to get support for Ustream, this isn't the proper place for it.
Yes.
Have you considered using cable internet while in an RV park? Yes,
we have.
Yes, that is a chapter in our book, and it's something we do recommend.
If you're someplace for more than a month, particularly because most cable places will install. I was blown away. They'll install the next day, and there's no commitment or requirement or contract. So we were at a park for several months last year it was. And we just called up, and the next day we had Bright House put a cable right into the side of our bus. At this, at the RV park was more of a place that catered to long-term residents, so they already had the wires up in the treetops, basically.
Yeah, you can't do it at every RV park.
Right.
I mean, you can't expect to go
National
to a state
parks,
park. You're not going to get to do that. A lot of private parks, not even so. But find one that specializes and reaches out to long-term residents, so maybe mobile home parks or seasonal RV parks. And if they're offering cable TV, that's a sign you might be able to get cable
internet. They have cable TV, you get cable internet.
It's definitely worthwhile to do it. Definitely worthwhile. With the new cell booster requirements, I'm wondering if the cell companies can track you down if your booster is too strong. They can track you down now.
Oh, we have to have readers write to us that they have gotten the knock on the door from AT&T/FCC inspectors saying, we detected a booster here at this location and it is causing interference, and cease and desist now or we'll get nasty. Radio signals can be tracked down. Almost. Period. And the new boosters are actually designed to avoid that. The new boosters listen for other transmitters on the same frequency and dial down their strength. They dial down their strength and make less of an issue out of that. So you'll probably not have anybody knock on your door. Okay. We're going to show up a mobile gadget here.
We're ready for another round of wine here. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite gadgets. This is our wine opener. It cuts the foil, takes it off, and then
you stab it like you're stabbing the heart of a vampire.
Stab it, and ta-da!
You did that less gracefully than normal.
Well, it's hard to do it in the middle of the air.
Yes. Normally you press it against the table, but you saw how quickly you can open 6 or 7 bottles of wine a minute if you get good. So you can't drink them that fast, but Okay.
All right, there was a question for Jason on there.
Oh, question for Jason. Where is it? Here's.
It said, how hard is it to...
LOL the hat.
No.
Okay. And somebody wants to make t-shirts out of our thing. Do you get approval from the other prior to posting?
Okay, no, the question was...
if I start a free blog on WordPress, is it easy to later upgrade it to a paid blog? Perfect question for Jason. Get over here.
Perfect question. Okay.
On camera.
I can do that. I can talk about that. So the transition from WordPress.org to a self-hosted blog is not as difficult as it used to be. It is still, there are a lot of hoops you have to jump through. You have to be able to pull all of the media and everything like that. It's much harder to go from Blogger to a paid hosting than it is to go from WordPress.org. So if you're thinking maybe in the future I'll do a self-hosted blog, but you're not sure right now, start with WordPress.org. That's definitely the way to go. Blogger is not conducive to that, although it's possible.
It's possible. And you can actually export from LiveJournal to WordPress. If you want to start on LiveJournal, it's nowhere near the vibrant community that it used to be, but it is still exists, and it still has actually it's quite a good audience, and it's a very, very easy platform to use and a very easy platform to connect with other people.
It is, and I will say though, you can import directly from Blogger as well, but none of your imagery comes through on either one. So that's what's going to get you.
If your images aren't Flickr though, they'll come through.
Sometimes.
Okay. Yes.
So someone asked, how many hours a day do we think we spend responding to our followers?
And then there's also how many hours a day do you spend talking about them behind their back, just wondering what the hell they were thinking too. That's another.
It depends upon how much we posted. Like when we did the Millennicom post, we had to spend about the whole day interacting with people, because we have our In It for RVers Facebook group, we had the Technomadia Facebook group page, we had the post itself, and then all these other forums that were linking to it. So it was a lot of effort. A blog post like went up today, we had I think 3 comments on it, so that doesn't take too long.
Kiki spends more time than the rest of us.
Yes.
Responding.
Yeah, someone asked to see Kiki. There's Kiki. Let's see. Do you get approval from the other prior to post?
I think they mean each other. Do we check the posts? And I'd say usually, yeah, we kind of hand off editing. So if a post says written by Cherie, I've usually edited it afterwards, and if a post says written by me, she's usually edited before.
Yeah, a lot of us are collaborative because we do read each other's.
And if something says Technomadia, then that's usually we've done both a lot of writing and editing back and forth.
Right. So yeah, we do a lot. I mean, even a small post is at minimum 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
One of our big long posts, especially a technical one like the Millennicom Survival Guide, I mean, those easily have 40 to 60 hours in each of them.
Because we do a lot of background research. We make sure all our links are accurate. We make sure all the details are accurate. I mean, we have a journalistic background, so we do our homework when we do the big posts. And
the reason we put that effort up front is because it reduces the effort later. Because we know if we skip a fact, if we get it wrong, we're going to hear about it. We're going to have to respond to it in comments anyway.
Right.
We just have that many people reading that we kind of have to be thorough.
And we write our more technical posts and our bigger posts to be long-term references. We want these things to be something that other people link to and consider definitive sources for information. And that's worked out really well for us.
Except for when someone asks a question in a forum or a group, they say, "Oh, what should I do for mobile internet?" And you post a link to your stuff, and they say, "Oh, quit doing that. You're just promoting it." It's like, I spent 100 hours on that series,
yes.
And I'm not going to retype it to you in a Facebook comment thread. It's like, yeah, that's a good told. Let's see. After the years you've been blogging, how do you keep your blog relevant and fresh? How does your creative process work in picking a topic to write about?
We change our location. That helps.
Changing our location helps. So one thread of our blog is the travelogue, and that has been consistent from the day we hit the road. And that's basically when, about every week, we kind of do an update of what we've been up to.
And also, if you write about technology, every week technology is different and changed too. So it kind of has that, your view always changing as well.
So And then, other topics, we kind of listen to what people are asking us, things we're seeing in forums and people are asking and talking about. And
the things that get comments and give us joy by people interacting with us.
Right. So, if we don't get responses to a type of post that we do, we quit doing them. The Rambling series with the interviews with nomads, we've quit getting comments on it.
We have a lot of people tell us they love it,
but
hardly anybody comments on the posts when we do them. And so those are very hard. They don't have that same feedback.
They're getting very unrewarding to keep doing because we put 8 to 10 hours into filming and editing and getting those posted and using up a heck of a lot of bandwidth to post them.
And then it gets 2 comments.
It gets maybe it gets a comment.
1 comment.
And it's just it's not worth it. So we go with what is inspiring for us to create and what gives us dialogue and conversation with people. Those are our motivations. You two have dealt very diplomatically with the negative comments and feedback. What advice do you give to new bloggers in this respect? New bloggers probably aren't going to get as many negative comments. Yeah. Not until you get some reach, because it takes having strangers.
I don't know. Actually, even back when we were still new, there was every so often a troll would pop up. They just live out there, and sometimes they might be somebody who disapproves, who knows you, and who disapproves of your lifestyle.
Like your brother.
Yeah, that came up.
Yeah.
And so you've got to it's easy to say just to have a thick skin and shrug it off.
Oh,
but it's hard to do.
Yes, a lot of people, when we post about some of the negative comments, it says, oh, haters are going to be haters, grow a thick skin. That's easy to say if you're not currently at the butt of those negativity. It hurts. It hurts to get those sorts of comments. And a bottle of wine, sometimes you just got to decide if you're willing to put up with it or not. And we've honestly several times been on the edge of just quitting blogging because it gets annoying to have to deal with that sort of stuff.
Sometimes it goes more than annoying, and you just have to go ballistic and have a bad night.
Let's see. I just did a transition between ISPs, took about an hour to get it installed, just took a little research.
I guess changing hosting providers.
Yes. And I think Wheeling It, she went through going from her WordPress.com install to a one on Dreampress,
right.
And it took her months to
get it right
and tweaked, and
it took her. It took a day or two, and then the final 10% was months.
Someone asked, do you think we should also tweet Facebook, etc.? Depends upon your motives. If you're just wanting to share, do what feels natural to you. If you're wanting to build a presence, absolutely, yes, look into the social media that makes sense for you. Other ones, Instagram, Tumblr, what are some of the other ones that you guys recommend?
Hashtags are your friend. Facebook hashtags work well too. And we got discovered by Airstream the other day because we hashtagged one of our blogs Airstream and they reposted it. So we got 20 new followers from that. So you just have to be in all the different areas where people might find you.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you deal with the trolls? Do you step away from Facebook blogs so you don't post something obviously if you've been watching, no, we don't. Sometimes we don't step away when we probably should.
At least you recognize it.
But yeah, it becomes very personal when people are attacking you personally.
And once one person does, it becomes kind of a then you're on edge, and it feels like everyone is, even if they're not.
So it sounds like you can do much more when getting your own domain. What does that cost?
Okay.
Jason?
This is a long conversation.
I can make it fairly short.
$19.95.
$25. So when you have your own domain, the first step is purchasing your own domain, which...
The first step is thinking up a good one that isn't already taken.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Think up several, because one of them is probably taken.
Your first choice will be gone. Your second choice probably will be gone. And I hate to say it, I would recommend GoDaddy for purchasing a domain.
GoDaddy's got a bad reputation for if you don't reserve something you like, they might buy it out from under it.
They'll buy it right out from under it.
Yeah, no, Domain Monger is the one I've had good luck with. DreamHost I've had good luck with.
So the thing with buying from another host, a lot of them are actually running through GoDaddy now.
Yeah, no, but there's several that aren't, so I don't.
So and I mean it just all depends on your technical abilities. But so buy your domain. It's going to cost you anywhere from $10 to $15. And then when you have a domain that you're happy with, then you have to find hosting. Your standard shared hosting is going to cost around $10.
Yeah, for basic.
For a basic setup, and that's what I would recommend for most people just starting out. As you get bigger, you want to move to what's called managed hosting or a virtual private server, and that's more expensive.
The problem that we've run into is there's this big chasm of you get the $10 a month basic hosting, and we were on DreamHost for the longest time, and then you jump from basically $10 a month to $100 a month for the next tier of support and ability for the server to handle a load, and that's a pretty substantial jump. And so we were in this void of like our site was getting really dog slow, and we're having all sorts of pain and suffering, and we're exceeding what DreamHost's $10 plan can do. But going to a professional site like a WP Engine or something, which is $120 a month, was like that's way more than we're making off the blog. We don't want to do that. What we ended up doing was a thing called DreamPress came out, which was DreamHost's optimized WordPress hosting, which is $17 a month or something. There was
it's now $19.99.
$19.99.
I just checked it.
Yeah, so it's a step up, but it's not a huge step up, and you get something that can scale up for WordPress only, and do a lot of interesting things.
And there are some other really good ones out there right now. WP Engine is the best of the best when it comes to WordPress now.
Do they have a lower end price now at all?
They do. They do now have a lower end price, $25 a month, but it limits. It is fairly low traffic.
That's what they do. They limit you there.
But it's fairly low traffic compared to what you guys get. A blogger starting out who wants a lot of security and a lot of other things. It's $25 a month is not that. Is not that bad. There are others. Pressable is another one that is out there and active in the community. So they would be the other one I would look at. But we go with green hosting. So
cool.
Let's see. Someone wanted to know if you eventually have tons of followers, can you make money off Amazon links or whatever or their adverts?
RV Sue is making how much we heard?
Yeah. I think.
Rotate.
Oh, goodness. So the question was. Can you make money if you without producing your own products off of advertising and affiliate links like Amazon? And yeah, you can. We don't push it. We're just starting to push it a little bit more recently. Keep in mind we lost our major. I had to shut down our major business. We lost most of the income that was funding our time to be able to keep the blog up. So if we're going to keep
pushing a little bit more.
We're pushing up a little bit more.
We don't want to be too commercial.
We don't want to be too commercial, but we do need to have the blog at least pay for a little bit of the expenses and time. So yeah, use that affiliate link that's right underneath the video if you would. And there's also a donate button too if you would like to just directly say thank you.
Hey, this is a great video. I love it. Thank you.
Yes. Cool. Think of it buying us a thank you drink.
Cheers.
Paying for this glass of wine we're drinking. But yes, you can make some affiliate links. Some bloggers share what they make every month. I think Interstellar Orchard is. Yes. Becky is. I think I've seen her numbers come in around $200 or $250 a month that she's making. And she pretty much ends every blog post with an affiliate link to Amazon. Willing It's doing it. RV Sue does it, and I don't know if she shares her numbers or not, but I know that hers are pretty substantial for the what she's doing. Ours, we typically make somewhere between $50 and $100 a month. I think one month we made $150.
Yeah, like Christmas. Hey.
Yeah. But it's not big money. It's not going to be quit your day job money unless you like really do a lot of product reviews and do the SEO linking and sort of stuff.
Top 10 things to spend money on Amazon. Click here.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see. What else is? If you got questions, keep them coming. We're almost hitting the hour mark, so we'll probably be ending this up pretty soon.
Last chance for questions.
Control these comments.
Yes, RVC does decent, and her blog is pretty basic. Yes, you can make money off a very basic blog. You don't have to feel like you have to be super fancy. Actually, sometimes fancy takes away.
Right. So, if there's any more questions, I don't see any other that we haven't addressed. And this is your last
Thank you for the
chance.
thank yous. We
Yes,
really do appreciate the positive feedback.
Yes, we do. That
if
helps.
you like something, you know, doesn't matter if you've commented 17 times before. Just comment on a post. Say, hey, that was a great post. I enjoyed reading it. That fuels us. We're primarily driven by that. That's the reason we blog. So keep it up. Show up on these chats. We love it. We love. There's how many people there? 60, 80. You know, we've had a decent crowd. This is fun. This keeps it interesting. We love it when we meet awesome people and we become friends with them. This is why we blog, because we connected with so many awesome people.
So we got some last questions coming in. It says, do you freelance code or do you telecommute, and do you guys make apps? If you have to ask that question, you probably haven't been paying attention for the last...
Technomadia.com, twostepsbeyond.com. Yes, we are app developers. We do a little bit of freelance work.
Yes, if you look over there, let's see if I point to the right. I don't know if it's that way or that way. On the sidebar down, our three major apps are listed there. We write travel apps for RVers. Go check them out. Our newest one, U.S. Public Lands, that we just debuted about a week and a half ago. That one overlays...
It came out for Android as well as iOS.
Yes, it's on Android too. And yes, we do occasionally accept contract work for coding, for advising, for strategy advising, writing, and other sorts of stuff. We do consider them on occasion if they fit in with our, if they fit in. Yes.
How profitable are the apps?
Not very.
They're beer money. No, they're more than beer money, but they're not live off money, but they're, yeah, you get roughly the third to a half.
They offset our campground fees.
They more than pay for all our technology.
No, they don't.
Our apps?
No, they don't pay for our technology.
Over the course of the last, look at our total accounts. Yeah, we've paid for all our technology.
Yeah, but not also campground fees.
But not okay, not the campground. Yeah, so it's
pick or choose.
Pick or choose.
Yes. The apps are not overly profitable. You have to sell a lot at $3 an app to make some money. Yes. And coverage in particular, it takes about 20, 30, 40.
The ongoing work is
the ongoing upkeep on coverage it offsets any income that we get off of it. It's the maintenance on that one is insane. Yes. Let's see. Alrighty.
Thank you. This is so fun to talk to you guys, and it's been fun having special guest stars. Love that.
Thank you for having us.
And was that a final question?
It says, when someone buys off the Amazon account, do you know who and what buys it? No, we do not know who bought what.
We see what was bought, but we have no idea who bought it. So we can see that, you know, all the items that were bought via our links, and sometimes they're really strange. But we have no idea who it was.
Right. Yes. No, because some people just...
Because once you go to the Amazon store from the link, anything you buy during that session.
Right.
So if you click our link to our, something that we have, like a hard drive or something, and then you go on to buy a fancy duck outfit, well, we know somebody bought a duck outfit. We don't know it was you who bought a duck outfit.
All right. We'll see you guys next month for the next topic, whenever it happens. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you to the Snows for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yay!
And,
bye, everybody.
Yes, definitely get in touch with them if you're looking to take your blog to the next step.
They're good. Very good.
Yes.
They know their stuff. And endorsed.
All right. Bye-bye.